Photo/Iraqi News. Bruce Johnson, Right-Wing Tribune, Baghdad, Iraq. 2 people were wounded in a bomb attack that hit northern Baghdad shops early on Sunday, a security source was quoted as saying. Speaking to Baghdad Today, the source said, an explosive charge went off near industrial shops in Al-Taji district, north of Baghdad. The explosion left 2 people injured, he said, adding that ambulances rushed to the blast site and carried the injured to a nearby hospital for treatment. Iraqi News reports. Earlier, Right-Wing Tribune reported that Iraqi special forces carried out an unexpected military operation in Anbar province on Sunday, managing to 10 Islamic State (ISIS) militants, including a senior leader, who is codenamed as the ISIS Slaughterer. Intelligence sources were quoted as saying, immediately, the troops geared up to hunt for ISIS plotters, who took the Anbar desert as a shelter, managing to 10 of them, the sources pointed out, noting that among those dead in the operation is Abu Taha al-Tansi, also known as the ISIS Slaughterer, and 9 of his companions. According to the sources, the troops also found a secret tunnel that was used by ISIS militant in Anbar desert, Iraqi News reports. Meanwhile, 12 ISIS members were arrested on Wednesday in an operation carried out in Al-Bu'ir village, west of Mosul. On Tuesday, the command said 18 ISIS members, including foreign leaders, were led in a security operation, south of Mosul. On the same day, the command said 14 militants were arrested in operations carried out in west and south of the city. Also, 2 Iraqi mayors were led this week in separate armed attacks believed to be carried out by Islamic State, ISIS, militants in Diyala province, government sources were quoted as saying. Islamic State continues to launch sporadic attacks across Iraq against troops. Security reports indicate that the militant group still poses threat against stability in the country. Thousands of ISIS militants as well as Iraqi civilians were led since the government campaign, backed by paramilitary troops and the coalition was launched in October 2016 to fight the militant group, which declared a self-styled caliphate from Mosul in June 2014. Iraq declared the collapse of Islamic State's territorial influence earlier in November with the recapture of Rawah, a city on Anbar's western borders with Syria, which was the group's last bastion in Iraq. ISIS declared a self-styled caliphate in a third of Iraq and neighboring Syria in 2014. A government campaign, backed by the US-led international coalition, was launched in 2016 to retake IS-held regions, managing to retake all havens, most notably the city of Mosul, the group's previously proclaimed capital. Violence in the country has surged further with the emergence of Islamic State extremist militants who proclaimed an Islamic caliphate in Iraq and Syria in 2014. The surge in violence between armed groups and government forces has resulted in over 3 million internally displaced persons across Iraq and left more than 11 million in need of humanitarian assistance. According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, the Iraqi capital has seen almost daily bombings and armed attacks against security members, paramilitary troops and civilians since the Iraqi government launched a wide-scale campaign to retake Islamic State-occupied areas in 2016. Though most of the daily bombings go without a claim of responsibility, Islamic State is expected to be behind many. God bless. Bruce Johnson, Right-Wing Tribune. Be sure to follow us on Nation in Distress and America's Freedom Fighters on Facebook.